So today we are going to discuss about ethical issues in marketing and HR. Ethics, as we define whatever good or whatever bad things, whatever right or whatever wrong things, whatever correct or whatever incorrect things. And even each and everything would be relative or relative according to Einstein's law of relativity. Nothing is absolute. Nothing is absolute. Like something is good, then with what context it's good. Something is bad, then with what context it's bad. Something is correct, something is incorrect. What we are going to consider or ethics would differ, ethics would deviate each and everywhere, even with time, ethics would differ, even with areas, ethics would differ, if even in different countries, ethics would differ, even with considering each and every individual, ethics would differ. But now, when you consider ethics with business, ethical issues in marketing and HR, perhaps most of the ethical issues in marketing and HR would be absolute or would be same or would be universal across the globe. Now, what can be different issues in marketing and HR? If we consider HR, if you are going to recruit anyone, then if you are going to recruit anyone, then what type of criteria you are going to consider? Yeah, whatever characteristics or features would be mentioned in job description or whatever would be your requirements. But some sort of discrepancy, some sort of biasness or some sort of things would be there, what is not according to legal framework, law of the land, or what is not according to what you can consider as human value or equality. Like before 5 to 10 years, it was a mail circulated throughout net, and in that mail it was mentioned like we are not. The mail was from HR of Hari Krishna Diamond, and it was mentioned like we are not going to recruit any of Mohammedan people. So if such type of biasness are there for particular religion or particular caste or some favorite things would be there, favorism would be there for some of the caste or some of the religion, then that is unethical practice. Or you are going to consider some of the candidature for your relatives or for the person with whom you are having some concern, or you are going to recruit someone who is going to offer some bribe to you or who has done some of the the things what you might have considered earlier, then all these issues are HR issues. Even while considering promotion, whenever any of the employee of any of the organization is going to be promoted, at that time there would be HR criteria like whom should be considered or who would be promoted, or there would be some sort of consideration like work or assignments or seniority or speed of the work or delicacy of work or how much technical work is there. With such type of criteria, promotion would be there. But if whatever criterias have been mentioned in HR policy of the organization, and if HR person is violating all these criteria, then what would be there? Then it's ultimately violation of HR policy, it's violation of ethical issues. Even so many issues would be there in marketing, like whenever you wish to market, you wish to sell, most of the manufacturers or most of the marketers, they wish to go for profit only. And whenever they wish to go for profit, at that time they would not think about ethical issues. They would go for discrepancy of documents. They would not consider the hierarchy. They would not consider the order. They would not consider the utmost faith. Even KYC of the bank, such type of things would not be considered. Ultimately, marketing people, they just would be concentrating on business. Like boss would be stating, "Okay, whatever you wish to do, whenever you'd be there in the market, if you would be in marketing position, your bosses would just state like, whatever you can do, whatever you wish to do, whatever you can do, just get profit, just get business." And bosses would be concentrating on business only, and that's why there would be level of stress and pressure, and due to such type of pressure, your marketing people or your sales people, they may behave in some unethical uh, manner. Like they would go for discrepancy of paper, they may make some documents on Photoshop or Corel Draw, or they would go for mis-selling, or they would keep some hidden facts, or they would not inform each and everything about the product or service to the customer. So it's ultimately breach of utmost faith. Even whenever insurance industry would be there, it's called like uberima fide. Uberima fide means utmost good faith. Customers should give each and every information to company. Now whenever life insurance advisor or development officer would be there with the customer, customer may inform his habits of smoking and drinking, but what advisor or development officer would think, like if he or she would be writing each and every nasty habits of the customer, the policy may get declined. And if policy would get declined, then what would happen? That advisor or sales manager would not be able to do business. And to concentrate on business, to get more and more business, he or she would be hiding facts of the customers. Same way in FMCG industry, salespeople, they would not be giving each and every information about ingredients or product features to the dealers or distributors, or even some of the time they would not be informing about schemes or contests to the dealers or distributors, and they themselves would start enjoying the fruits. Even same way in dealers and distributorship of automobile industry, some of SIBM students are working with dealers and distributors of automobile industry, and from them I've come to know like what they would do. They would not give each and every accessories to the customer, what should be offered to the customer or what is right to the customer to get free, but they would charge it and they would save some of the accessories and some separate account would be there for them. Like each and everywhere in each and every function or organization or industry, unethical practices are there. You just will have to observe. Now, what we should learn from all these things? Ultimately, utmost good faith. You should not indulge in unethical practice, and you will have to save your existence from unethical practice. So, it's positive and negative role of marketing. Marketing can work positively or negatively for ethical standards. Voluntarily adherence to high marketing ethics. Ethics due to market compulsions. Shift from emphasis on product to process. If processes would be given much concentration, then whatever product features would be, your processes would be qualitative, your processes are ethical, then not to worry. And ethics due to market compulsion, if legal framework would be there and strict laws would be there, then by hook or crook, by default, the sales people, the marketing people, they will have to follow ethics. Defining marketing ethics. Marketing ethics as a right or wrong action. Marketing ethics means a standard by which a marketing action may be judged right or wrong. It can also be defined as how moral standards are applied to marketing decisions, behaviors, and institutions. Ethics and law. Ethics, effect of time, tacit and explicit codes of ethics. Now, what is tacit and explicit? Tacit means what is not written but what is understood, and explicit means what is defined or what is elaborately written or narrated. Now, some sort of things, laws or rules, regulations, or conditions, even in HR or even in marketing, would have been written like what secrecy you should maintain of the company, or grievance or performance improvement plan of the company, or integrity of the company. But some sort of things would not have been written in HR code of conduct. There would not be any certain protocols, but it's understood you'll have to follow some of the protocols what is not written. In the context of Indian economy, corrupt governments. Corruption is there since inception. While Aryans might have come over here, or royal Hindu kings were there, or even when Mohammedanism, Akbar and all those kings were there, and when Britishers they came, and even after 1947 when India had become independent, because even in 1950s, 60s, 70s movies, if you might have watched, you will see all the political leaders, all the netas would be corrupt only. It means corruption is there since 60s or since 50s or since 1947. Even it's saying in Sanskrit like Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. Whatsoever king would be there, whatsoever legal framework or government would be there, public are going to follow same code of conduct. Archaic laws lacks implementation of existing laws. Archaic laws means if strict implementation is not there of laws, so many problems you might have observed in Indian society. Same way, so many problems are there in marketing function of different companies. but strict laws are not there, because you'll have to consider candidature of that person, because he would be doing wonders. Then you'll have to overlook whatsoever unethical practice he or she might have done. So that's archaic laws. Lacks implementation of existing laws. Lax implementation means lenient implementation. Whatever laws would be there, but if strict implementation would be there, it's saying in Sanskrit like if dand, if punishment would be strong, then and then only implementation would be strong. And if implementation would be strong, then and then only results would be desired. Lackadaisical consumers means consumers, even consumers are not aware about their rights, about what should be done, if any fraudulent activity they might have found, if any of the problem they might have found in whatever products or services have been offered. Most of the time consumers would like to avoid or overlook the things. As even you might have watched so many advertisements like now 50% extra or 25% extra or 5 rupees less. But whenever marketers are going to reduce the quantity of the product, whenever they are going to increase the price of the product, at that time they would not market about it. But whenever they would decrease the price, they would increase the quantity, at the time they would be marketing the things. So that's about lackadaisical consumers. Lack of competition. Whenever monopoly is there, oligopoly is there, competitors or manufacturers or marketers, they would enjoy like anything. They would just like to exploit market, and whatsoever price determination would be there or whatsoever quality determination would be there, they would not think about consumers view. But if perfect competition would be there, so many manufacturers in same industry, so many service providers would be there in same industry, then at some level such type of problem can be solved. Very few independent monitors. Areas in marketing ethics. What are 4 P's of marketing? Product, price, place, promotion. What are 7 P's of marketing? It's for services. Product, price, place, promotion, then physical evidence, process, and people. If you'd be considering product, then your mobile instrument Vivo Mobile is a product. 15,000 rupees is price. You might have purchased it online or from any of the retailer. Phone wale, then its place of distribution. You might have watched so many advertisements. You might have seen so many billboards of Vivo. That is promotion advertising. So product, price, place, promotion. If you'd be considering service, then product is Vodafone's voice call or internet data is product. Price is 300 rupees per month. Place is Vodafone store or online. Promotion, Vodafone advertisement. Now people, process and physical evidence. Additional 3 things are added in this. People means Vodafone people, sales or operation or HR or whatsoever, Vodafone people. Then process, they are offering this service, and to offer this service, so many processes are there, like customer care or engineering or knock or other telecom services. And then people, people part is not there in product. Like you may purchase some of the product online, but for service, who is going to offer the service? That person, that people is required. So people, process, and physical evidence. Physical evidence means virtually if you'd be getting any of the service, then that field would not be there. So for physical evidence, some of physical distribution is there, and for that, offices of any of the training organization, offices of telecom companies, offices of the insurance companies, offices of the banks, you can consider as physical evidence. And if you'd compare SBI's branch and ICICI branch, if you'd be comparing LIC's branch and HDFC Standard Life branch, then physical evidence or physical ambience would get some of the differences. So, what are different areas in marketing, in product development? Whenever you are going to develop a product, you are going to offer a product, what type of features would be there, what you are going to offer to the market, to the consumers. If it's possible for you to offer the best product and then too you are going to offer cheap product, you are going to offering the product what would not sustain for more than a year. You wish to uh, give 1 year warranty or guarantee, but you are damn sure about their existence of the product would be not more than 2 years. Means 1 year warranty till 1 year, there would not be any problem for the product, but after 1 year, there would be so many faults. So such type of product developments are ethical issues for marketing. Second is pricing. During earthquake or during pandemic or such type of situations, you might have observed like whatever travel people, they would like to increase rates of traveling. So it's again marketing and pricing ethical issue. Place distribution. In 500-meter area of any of the education organization, there should not be tobacco products sold, but then to you get tobacco products less than 500-meter radius. Promotion. Even you might have seen advertisements like Fair and Lovely or some of the hair oil or fairness cream products, and they would claim you would become fair using such type of fairness cream, or they would write whatever legal warning would be there in fonts, what fonts you would not be able to read, or such type of fonts would remain for just 5 to 7 seconds, and within 5 to 6 7 seconds you would not be able to read that instruction. Market So ultimately marketing ethics go beyond the 4 P's discussed above. A few are mentioned: keeping information about stakeholders confidential, follow ethical standards in marketing research and intelligence. Keeping information of stakeholders confidential. We would like to relate it with WhatsApp, new WhatsApp policy. Now WhatsApp is going to use each and every data, each and every detail of your mobile phone. Whatever information would be there, WhatsApp would be sharing with Instagram and Facebook, and even they may sell such type of information to some other parties, as most of the time it has been habit of Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook. So keeping information about stakeholders confidential, follow ethical standards in marketing research and intelligence. Now this is ethical issues in human resource management. Definition of HRM. HRM is a management function involving the recruitment of suitable human resources training, development, and sustaining their competencies, motivating them, offering them rewards on a rational and equitable basis, and ensuring their continued commitment to the organization for achieving its overall objectives. So ultimately, what would be goal? What would be function of HR? They would like to recruit best people. They would like to retain them. They would like to motivate them and get work done, best work done out of the HR resource. Genesis and growth of human resource management 1890 to 1910. Patrick W. Taylor. F.W. Taylor formulated scientific management, which included a careful selection of employees, finding out the best method of doing the job, systematic training of workers, provision of suitable implements, and giving adequate rewards for good performance. Now, this definition would be important for you throughout your life. Whether you'd go for marketing, HR, or finance, you will have to consider it for your people. You will have to consider it for your team. You will have to assign different jobs to different employees or team members, and you will have to get work done. You will have to train and motivate them. You will have to maintain hierarchy. You will have to maintain their integrity, and you will have to get work done. 1910 to 1930. Greater importance to welfare of workers, emergence of industrial psychology, and improvements in the mode of recruitment procedures. Now, this is some of historical chronological order is given, like during 1910 to 1930, what has happened during 1910 to 1930. Greater importance had been given to welfare of workers, like manufacturers or factory owners. They should think about residence areas of their workers, cleanliness of the residence area, schools, colleges, or education of their children, even at what place they would be able to go for worship. All this type of things should be considered. 1930 to 1945. Principle of Hawthorne studies gain momentum in personnel management in an industrial organization. Greater emphasis given to motivating factors affecting worker productivity. Whatever stress or pressure you'd give to your people, but if they would be motivated, as we had discussed, like if voluntarily implementation would be there of the laws, then no need of any of the laws. Just laws should be informed to the people, and voluntarily they are going to follow. Same way, if motivated people would be there, then they would work greater than whatever demotivated people would be doing. 1945 to 1965, more emphasis on collective bargaining and labor relations. Compensation and benefits gained importance as unions negotiated for and obtained paid vacations, paid holidays, and insurance coverage. Now, this was a time where, at what communism or socialism from Russia, like Karl Marx and Lenin was there from Russia to across the globe. It has spreaded, and labor laws or labor relations was main concentration area in industries. So most of the factory owners or HR people, they had started giving stress on insurance of the people, on education of the people, and they started having some sort of negotiation, or they started keeping some sort of links with labor unions. 1965 to 1985. Equal employment opportunity and affirmative action became crucial HR management responsibilities. Equal employment opportunity. Equal employment opportunity means it would be equal throughout all the criteria, whether it would be black or brown or white, whether it would be a lady or a gent, whatever gender or whatever caste or whatever area he or she would be. 1985 to 2005 increased diversity of the labor force in terms of age, gender, race, and ethnicity. Globalization of business and the accompanying technological revolution focus on HRM as a strategic function. Now, during this period, HR has become strategic function because most of the MNCs that started having some sort of cosmopolitan culture, like in Google or Facebook or IBM, there would be people from China, India, Africa, Europe, US, from each and every corner of the world, there would be their employees. Even each and every corner of the world, they would be having their offices or their existence. So they'll have to think about their ethnicity, their race, and no any discrimination should be there. Such type of laws or such type of strategies have been evolved. Big scope of HRM. The vast scope of HRM can be summarized to include the following seven functions, like determining human resource needs, attracting potential employees, choosing employees, teaching or preparing, rewarding, evaluating performance, and creating a positive work environment. Department should be there, HR policies, rules, regulations should be there, and if rules, regulations would not be there, then you are not authorized to say anything to any of the employee. But if written format would be there, then and then only you'd be able to tell your employees to follow the rules. But if rules are not written, then nothing are if nothing is written, then nothing should be followed. Attracting potential employees. Now HR's prior most task would be to attract potential employees. They will have to retain potential employees because nowadays the pain of the HR would be attrition and retention. If some best employees would leave, then the organization would not sustain, or there would be problems for organization for sustenance of or existence. Choosing employees, teaching and preparing. Now, whenever you are going to recruit people, um, there will be three types of problems like KSA: knowledge, skill, and attitude. So, if they don't have enough knowledge or information about the processes, then you'll have to train them. If they don't have enough skill to perform their task or assignment, then you'll have to teach them, coach them, and if some sort of attitudinal problems are there, then you may um, solve or resolve it. Rewarding, if motivating atmosphere would be there, rewards contest would be there, then your employees would work without any sort of loss. Evaluating performance, for performance evaluation there should be some sort of matrix or framework or some goal sheet. Creating a positive work environment, if rosy good goody picture would be there, positive atmosphere would be there, motivating picture would be there, then employees would work without any sort of compulsion. Different aspects of HRM are recruitment, training, development, learning, performance, pay, teamwork, and motivation. Emerging challenges of HRM. Some of the challenges that confront HR professionals and their roles in organization and the industrial scenarios are: first, globalization of markets and intensification of competition has made employees conscious of their changing and strategic roles in organizations. As we have discussed, due to multinational corporations' existence across the globe, cosmopolitan culture would be there, different type of attitudes or ethnic behavior or culture or subculture would be there, and HR will have to take care for each and everyone. That is first and foremost emerging task or challenge for HR people. Second is corporate restructuring has become an absolute necessity for organization. Whenever corporate is going to restructure, redesign, or re-engineering, so many uh, improvements or innovation would be there in HR policies. Need for reconciling to multiple work ethos as a result of mergers and acquisitions. Now, ICC Bank and HDFC Bank would be all the way different work culture. But if ICC and HDFC would get merged, then there would be again strategic challenge for HR to absorb HDFC people or to absorb ICC people or to create some new atmosphere or culture for the new organization. Emphasis on total quality management, changing job profiles, and the need for an ability to get adjusted to them. Adoption to changing workforce profile consequent on structural changes. Increasing role of women employees in organization. Within last 4 to 5 decades, women employees have got some unique place in most of the organization. So again, gender discrimination or some sort of new challenges have been evolved. What will have to be taken care by HR people? Increasing use of IT that is altering the very nature of work delivery in organization. IT has become blessing for HR people, but same way, so many new challenges are there with what are related to IT for HR people. Increasing emphasis on knowledge management and the need for acquisition and use of knowledge to keep pace with the fast changing world. So, what are other issues? Discrimination issues, suppression of democratization in the workplace, privacy issues like recruitment selection, performance tracking, privacy issues of computerized employees' records, elect- electronic surveillance, safety and health, performance appraisals, role of HRM in creating ethical organization. Now we have discussed about so many different ethical issues and what can be outcome, and now how you can create ethical organization. First is the top management should be committed to ethical behavior. They should be the role models to their employees. If your top management is not ethical, if your top management is not behaving in the manner what manner they should behave, then employees are going to replicate it. The organization should evolve codes of ethics for its employees and enforce them. Enforcement is required, some sort of coercion is required, some sort of punishments are required whenever ethical standards should be followed. Ethics committees should be formed with top executives as numbers to advise on ethical issues. company journals to publish articles on ethical issues and pose hypothetical ethical dilemma and discussions on how to resolve this. This is somewhat unique. Like if company would publish some sort of articles in journals or magazines or some sort of documents what can be circulated in their employees, then their employees would be aware about what can be different hypothetical problems or different dilemmas or different ethical problems and how to solve or resolve it. An ethics office with an ethics officer to oversee the process and help communicate policy to employees. Ethics officer should be recruited, and that person would be accountable for ethical behavior of the employees. Organize employee ethics training which can play an integral role in ensuring compliance with the ethics code. A disciplinary system to deal with ethical violations promptly and decisively.